Hi, I'm Andre Eikmeier. I'm co-founder of Vinomofo. I'd like to talk to you about something that's happening on Saturday, 15th of October, which is a great initiative that some friends of mine are putting together, and it's Mental Health Day for startups. Um, it's such a great initiative. It's so many people that I know and love. Their lives are made so much more difficult due to anxiety and depression. And I think in the space we're in, and when you're trying to create something, it can be really hard. I think it's so prevalent, and I'd like to share with you a story that has helped me get connected with myself and find balance between work and working hard, and all the challenges and goals and all of this, and just life and a life of love and connectedness. And I'm sorry about the noise. Got building going on just next door, but I'm going to forge on anyway. So here's my story. It's called 50 Stones and what I think is the key to happiness. So a few years ago, my father-in-law Rod had a 50th birthday, and we had a party at our house, and he got us all together, and my co-founder and brother-in-law Justin was obviously there, and my wife Jody, and they're Rod's kids. I'm sure you understand how the in-law family connections work. Anyway, he was giving a speech, and he presented each of them with this vase full of stones, the kind of stones you find when you're walking along the beach, and he told them a story. He said, so 50 days ago, I went for this walk along the beach, and I picked up a stone and I started rubbing it, and that was my Justin stone. And I found another stone and I started rubbing that. That was Jody's stone. And I thought about a year of my life, the first year of my life, and just various things I could string together where we lived, blah blah blah. And I took those stones home and I kept them. I put them on the bench. The next morning I woke up and I went for another walk and I found another two stones and I thought of another year of my life. Um, and I've done this every day for 50 days, and 50 stones. Here's 50 stones for each of you, and this is my life. And they were like, oh yeah, whatever. But I was so affected by this, and I thought it was so amazing that all of these memories had come back to him. And so for my 40th birthday, 4 years ago, I did the same. I didn't walk along the beach, but I started writing each day for 40 days leading up to my birthday, a year of my life, and all this stuff came back to me as well. It was quite amazing, and details and things that I hadn't thought about for a long time. People that I had really good relationships with that I just hadn't thought about for a while, and also quite a few memories. A lot of them from sort of my 20s, through to 40, except the big ones like having kids and getting married. A lot of them were like I was remembering through this filter, or this haze. It wasn't quite directly affected, and I realised that it was because they'd not been things that had directly contributed to sort of, this goal I had, or this path I thought I was on, and I realized something that has affected me profoundly, and it was a bit of an epiphany, and it was this thing that I think we all are in danger of falling into this trap, and it was this that I'll try and do it here on the screen. That so life starts. Hang on, where am I? Life starts here, right? When you're born, and you're sort of going to go along, and you think it's gonna end somewhere over here when you die, and that path that will have been your life. And what happens to most of us and all of us, and it's just the way it is, that life sort of goes along and actually ends up here, and it'll probably end up here and you'll die. But what I was doing, and what I think people do, is we're so set on what we thought was going to happen in this path we'd planned, that we measure our life all the time in this distance we are away from what we thought was going to happen. I thought I'd have this sort of job, or I thought I'd have my own business by now, or I didn't think I'd be divorced, or I thought I'd be married and have kids, or I didn't think this would happen. And we're always looking at the back away to the path we want to be on, or we thought we'd be on, instead of where we're actually at, which is a moment in time. Or even if we're on a path we want to be on, we're measuring. We're always thinking about the goal ahead, or where we want to be, and that's what we measure our life in terms of. And I think what occurred to me was in danger of when you get to the end, sorry, over here, and you die. If you've spent your time continually measuring your life in terms of how far away from the path you want it to be on R, it's a fucking waste. And when you die, that path you thought you were on, that's nothing. That means nothing to the universe or to you or anything. And the only failure is if you've wasted all of this time worrying about that, instead of just acknowledging the life you're in. And that doesn't mean let go of your dreams or your goals. God knows that's what we do in this world. We're trying to create great stuff and we're trying to do great things with our lives. It's not about that, but they're just goals and plans. They're not your life. Your life is every moment and every day, the dots that get there. And in the end, ultimately, that's more important than what actually happened in your life, I think, as a key to your happiness. Acknowledging and accepting and being happy in that these moments are your life, regardless of what's going on in them. I think that's the key to empowerment and taking control of your life and actually being happy. And that epiphany happened to me, and I decided I wouldn't judge my life on where I wanted to be or what hadn't happened. And God knows I'd had a lot of failures in my life, in business and altogether, and a lot of loss. And I tell you, I've been a lot happier and more balanced and more connected since then. It's not easy. I sort of anchor myself in moments. I come home and when I'm with the kids or in the house, I do things like I use the senses of smell and sound and open my eyes and really try to let myself be in the moments rather than let the million things and worries and decisions that await me swim around in my head, and a big weight's come off my shoulders from that. And so there you go. That's my 50 stones and key to happiness. I'd like to leave you with that thought on this really important day, and look after here, your head and your heart. It's more important than anything. It allows you to then love yourself and love the people around you, and that's the most important thing. Be good to yourselves. Cheers.